Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Naruto Was a Vampire. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune because after this I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Aizuna Uchiha Was Naruto's ancestor. So stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And also, over on Anime King, I post a new episode of What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And later on, I'm going to be giving you What If Naruto was neglected by everyone. So stay in tune for that as well. And then after it, I'm going to be giving you What If Kaguya was Naruto's mother. So stay in tune for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. Begin the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, Eva and Naruto were battling hard, as the both of them were left bloody and bruised, as Jiraiya arrived and looked at the forest which was total, as the both of them really fight to their heart content, seeing that their body would heal after any life-threatening wounds to a human being. Jiraiya then told Naruto that he's going to find a new Hokage. Eva wanted to tag along, but Jiraiya told her to stay behind, just in case anything happened. Any nation tried to prove themselves and tried to attack Konoha, seeing that it just recently got invaded, and this news spread like wildfire, people thinking that Konoha has become weak after the invasion. So after talking to Naruto, Eva decided to stay behind to just make sure that everything is safe in the village. So with that, Naruto and Jiraiya headed off. Meanwhile, Itachi and Kisame came to the village as they had their battle with Kakashi, Kurenai and Asuma, and Guy intervened in the last moment as the duo had to retreat. They then came to the hotel as they found Naruto. After Sasuke heard about the battle, he quickly rushed out, seeing that Naruto and Jiraiya were still in the Fire Country. Both Itachi and Kisame were surprised, as Naruto was able to hold his own off against the both of them, and that made them even more curious. How this genin was so strong, even though neither of them were going all out, and Naruto was still holding back as well. Itachi uses Amaterasu as he destroyed one of Naruto's attacks, but the black flames caught in Naruto's hands, as Itachi watched Naruto in pain. As Itachi watched Naruto cut off his own arm, and in a few seconds it regenerated like nothing happened, as the black flames consumed the relief arm. As Itachi couldn't understand, but he was still not at 100% after fighting Kakashi and the others. Sasuke also came and get the crap beaten out of him as Naruto had to knock him out, so he wouldn't intervene in the fight. And with that, the group headed off. Meanwhile, at the Cloud Village, Yujito, she was in a cell as there was a lot of seals on her, especially a seal on her stomach, so she couldn't contact the Nibi or use her power, as the Nibi had heard everything before the seal was applied. Yujito was going to be exiled. Well, she's going to be killed, seeing that they're going to extract the two-tailed Nibi from her, saying that she's a traitor to her own village. As the Raikage saw when she didn't place a seal on Naruto, she had enough time but she dropped the seal and let the brat get away. And the Raikage quickly said her fate. They will extract the two-tailed Nibi and she will die. The Nibi did something that neither of them had done for a long time. She spread out her senses and made contact with Kurama. As Kurama felt something tugging on his chakra, he was brought to a white world where the Nibi was. As Nibi begged for him to tell Naruto about this, seeing that Yujito did it all to save him, and now she's gonna die if they extract her, and the Nibi didn't want that, as Kurama told her that he will. Kurama was about to tell Naruto, but before they could, Naruto and Jiraiya found Tsunade at a bar. As they start talking to her, as Tsunade then started to disrespect Sarutobi's name and saying that old fool is nothing but a worthless old piece of bones. And he was stupid enough to take up the mantle of Hokage, knowing that it would only lead to death. Before she could say anything else, she was sent flying through the brick wall as she crashed outside in a crater, as Naruto was the one who flung her through the wall. So yeah guys, that was basically the last where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Lady Tsunade, said Shizune as she rushed outside. Tsunade quickly dressed back as she picked up herself. How dare you, said Naruto, as Tsunade saw in the dust and debris two red eyes shining. How dare you speak of Sarutobi like that? He was your sensei, and the way you speak of him with no respect. Talking about Hokage is a dumb goal to follow. He did it to protect his village. He fight for his life against Orochimaru just because he wanted to protect the village, and now you're here insulting his name. You're nothing but a spoiled crybaby brat, Naruto said. Tsunade huffed. Look who you're calling brat, she said. You're still in diapers. You haven't yet seen the ninja world and know what the ninja world is truly capable of. And I bet when you do, you will realize that being a Hokage is a stupid dream. You should give up right now, she said to him. Who told you that I want to become Hokage, said Naruto. Huh? Then why do you care? Because Sarutobi was like a grandfather to me. And you should treat his name with respect, said Naruto. Huh? Why should I? That old fool went and get himself killed by Orochimaru. And he could have stopped Orochimaru back then, but he let him leave the village because he thought he would change. But he should know by now nothing in this ninja world ever changed. And that's his fault. That is why he's dead right now. Watch your mouth, said Naruto. Huh? And what if I don't, she said. Then I'm gonna come over there and shut it for you, he said to her. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya. Jiraiya, I don't know who this brat is, but I'm gonna put him in his place. Naruto then looked at Jiraiya. Stay out of this, he said to him. Shizune, leave this one to me, said Tsunade. Lady Tsunade, are you... Leave this to me, Tsunade said, as Shizune nodded and backed away. As Naruto stepped forward, Tsunade cracked her knuckles. Huh, throwing me through that wall like a rag doll. I don't think you're an ordinary shinobi kid. And that is why I won't hold back on you. Tsunade waited for Jiraiya to say something, like saying if she's crazy or something going on out on the kid. But she was surprised when she got nothing from him. It seems like... Is he really confident in this brat ability that he could take me on, Tsunade wondered, as she narrowed her eyes at Naruto, who was standing there, perfectly calm. Well then, let's see about that. She smashed her fist into the ground as a huge chunk of the earth came up, as she threw it at Naruto with impressive speed. Naruto stood there without moving. The moment it was close enough, he tapped his feet on the ground. Tsunade was beyond surprised when a giant crystal broke from the ground, impaling the piece of debris, stopping it in its path. How is that possible, she said. Konoha doesn't have any crystal style users. How does he possess this Geki Genkai? As Naruto pointed his finger at her, a bone came from his finger as it fired straight towards her. Tsunade quickly jumped out of the way as a bone pierced the wall behind her. Bone release? You should keep focus, said a voice. Tsunade's eyes went wide as she couldn't believe it. How was that even possible? He was just standing right there a moment ago. How was this kid so fast? As a feet spin around her side for her face. Tsunade quickly raised her hand as the feet made contact, but she was pushed back by the pure strength. That made Tsunade even more curious. This kid, his strength was unbelievable. As Naruto used her hand and pushed off as he flicked over. As he held up his palms, as two bones came from his palm as he threw them towards her. She used her incredible strength as she smashed them to pieces. Did you really think that would work? She asked him. No, said Naruto, as he landed on the ground. The moment his feet touched, he dashed forward with brilliant speed that surprised her. She raised her palm as he slammed his fist right into it. There was a huge shockwave that blew away everything around them. As Tsunade's palm was smoking just from the force behind the punch. I don't know what you are, but you're not holding back. Then neither will I, she said, as she brought down her fist, but Naruto jumped back. Her fist made contact with the earth, destroying everything around her. The ground was destroyed into a lot of pieces. As she looked around, as smoke and debris was everywhere. So, hiding are we? She said, looking around. I'm not hiding, said Naruto. She quickly dodged a kick to the face as she grabbed onto his feet and held him tightly, but she was surprised when he bent his feet in her hand, breaking his own feet in the process. As he delivered a mighty blow to her face with his other feet, sending her flying back as she crashed into the ground with great force. Tsunade picked up herself as she looked at her hands. How? She said, as she watched him standing there. His leg was perfectly fine. How did you do that? She said as she stopped fighting. Did what? Naruto asked. I saw that. I broke your bone. But it's completely fine now. I don't understand, she said. Take back what you said Naruto. What? She asked. I said take back what you said, and I'll tell you how I did it. And from now on, you're going to respect your sensei's name. And why should I? Why should I have respect for someone who gave his life for that stupid village? That village that took so much from me. Naruto narrowed his eyes at her as she clenched her fist tight. That village has done nothing but put me through pain and misery. Why? Why should I give a damn about it? Tell me. Huh, kid? Tell me why I should give a damn, she asked him. As Naruto didn't say anything, as she screamed, huh? You have no answers? Tell me. I lost everything. I lost my brother. I lost my boyfriend. I lost everyone in my family, everyone dear to me. So tell me why? Why should I give a damn about that village? As Shizune narrowed her eyes, it was the first time Tsunade ever spoke so rightly about the village, and what exactly did it took from her? Why was she telling this kid everything, she wondered, as Jiraiya stood there, just looking at Tsunade as he had a sad look on his face. Naruto stepped forward. As he walked straight up to Tsunade, she narrowed her eyes at him. Because they wouldn't want to see you like this, he said. As Tsunade looked up at him without saying a word, do you really think the loved ones that you lost regret risking their life for the village? No, they didn't. Because a wheel of fire burned inside of them brightly, and they wanted to save the village. They wanted to make the village a better place. Even though they passed on without creating that dream, you should be the one to take on that dream and achieve their goals. And as a memory, you should not fail them in any way. Instead of staying around here drinking and wasting your life away, you can change it and do something better. You can do something to prove that their sacrifices wasn't in vain. You're not just gonna leave their death like it was nothing and just complain about it day in and day out, about how life is unfair. Oh, trust me, I know about life. I know how unfair life is. I have the Kyuubi inside of me, he said to her. She narrowed her eyes, but she kept on looking at him. I grew up without having parents, without having anyone by my side. I usually get beaten day in and day out. I suffered for the longest time. That was until I met a friend. From there, things started to change. Even though I had a friend, people still glared at me. They still had that ill feeling towards me, even though I couldn't control what is inside of me. That is why. Life is hard and I know it. But that is no reason for you to just give up like that, to push away everything and waste your life away. You need to change. You need to show this world that you will not give up and prove to your loved ones. I am sure they are all in a better place right now and they're watching you, wanting you to not go down this path. So will you? Will you prove to them that you won't? Naruto asked. Tsunade was left speechless by that speech, as she now understands. He has seen and felt pain before. He has understand what this life was. Jinjulkis were always hated. The villagers always hated them, especially in Take, where they thought the demons were the one who destroyed the village. Konoha wasn't anything different. So she understands now. He has went through a lot, like her. But he strive on. He continued his path and his goal. And was he right? Did Naoki and Dan and the others really want her to continue and complete what she couldn't? What if I'm not fit to be a Hokage, she asks. Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder. Oh, trust me, you are, he said with a smile. And how do you know that? Well, Pervy's age is not going to be it. And I can just tell. Well, you see, I have this sixth sense. Huh, are you telling me you can see in the future? Asked Navi. Well, nothing like that, said Naruto. But I just know it. You're gonna be a great Hokage. Now, what do you say? Shizune, said Snavi. Do you want to go back to Konoha? Lady Snavi, are you really thinking about this? Are you going to become the next Hokage? Well, seeing how much his village needs me, I guess I will become the Hokage, she said. Arrogant as always, said Naruto. As Snavi looked down. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean what I said about Sarutobi-sama. As Naruto smiled. Don't worry about it, he said. You're all forgiven. You were just messed up. And a bit crazy. Who are you calling crazy, she said. Jiraiya walked over and stopped anything from happening. So, is that a yes? Do you accept the position? Are you deaf, she said. As he rubbed the back of his head. Well, you truly have changed. I'm glad I brought you here, Naruto, said Jiraiya. You're lucky it worked, said Naruto. As Tsunade just looked at Shizune, as Shizune gave her a smile. Tsunade didn't stop. Oh, you should know, she said. Orochimaru contacted me. A second later, everyone felt a bloodlust leaking from Naruto, as they felt pure anger and rage just pooling off the boy. As he turned towards Tsunade's eyes red. Where is he, Naruto asked. As Tsunade stuttered for a second, but she quickly recomposed herself. He contacted me a few days ago. He gave me a week. A week for what, Naruto asked. He told me that he could bring back Naoki and Dan. But after what you told me, you're right. Whatever he would bring back, they won't be the real them. They will just be a puppet controlled by him. So, I'm putting my trust and my faith in you. That is why. I believe it's right for me to tell you, she said. As Naruto nodded, as the bloodlust then quickly vanished. Where exactly are you going to meet, Naruto asked. Meanwhile, at Kumo, Yujito was sitting in her cell. Her hands still bound behind her, seals still all over her body. As she saw two people she didn't expect to see here. It was Karu and Amoy. As she thought the Raikage would have banned any of them from interacting with her. As she looked up, what are you guys doing here, she asked. We're here because we want to know why, said Karu. Yeah, that's right, said Amoy. Why did you do that back then? Did what, she asked. As Karu clenched her fists. Stop playing these games, alright? Why? Why didn't you seal him right there and then? Why did you? Why did you have to stop? And now look what's happening. I heard what the Raikage say they're going to do. They're going to take the Nibi from you. And once they do that, you know what will happen. Oh, that I'm going to die? Said Yujito. As Amoy narrowed his eyes at her. Why does it seem like you have come to terms with it? Because I have, she said. You see, I knew once I... Never. Place that seal on Naruto. This is going to happen. I don't know why, but I couldn't do it. After being at that village for only 1 month, he had a strong impression on me. And now, I couldn't just watch him die like that, seeing that the Raikage was about to extract the 9 tails from him. But you barely even know the guy, said Karu. That's the strange thing. I never even know him for that long. And I hate to say it, but I actually fell for him. What? Amoy said, as he narrowed his eyes at her. Yeah, I did, she said. And now I'm gonna be killed because of it. The reason is I never feel this way for anyone in Kumo before. Any boy type, to say at least, she said. But him, there's just something about him. And now I messed up bad, huh? You did, said Karu. But don't worry. I'm gonna try and talk to the Raikage once more. No, said Yujito. I can see already. You guys already talked to him. Am I right? Yeah, we did, Amoy said. And Yujito said. He turned us down, said Karu. As I expected, Yujito said. He is not going to make me live after what happened. Seeing that boy brought a huge shame to his pride. You know the Raikage is all about strength. And if a genin was able to beat him like that, and I side with that genin, I'm going to be killed and I know it. So it's better you guys just forget about me and give up. We can't do that, Amoy said. We have known you for a long time now, and we're friends. Yeah, I know, but it's not like I can get out of here. Yes, you can, said Karu as she started to walk forward. But before she could do anything, two envoys appear in the room. You shouldn't go so close to the prisoner. You were warned, the envoy said as they dragged both of them out of the room, as they were placed outside the cell and told to leave. They were given permission after nagging over and over to be talk to the Raikage, but they were told not to go near to the prisoner. Yujito then lowered her head. All alone again, she thought. Meanwhile, back with Naruto, they were in the same hotel as Shizune and Tsunade, as they were the next door beside them. As Naruto was curled lying on the bed, Jiraiya was on the other bed, as he was fast asleep snoring hard. As Naruto picked up the pillows and put them on his ears. Hey kid, I want to talk to you, said Kurama. As Naruto went into his mindscape. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You told me that you wanted to talk to me, today, right? Yes. What's it about? Asked Naruto. It's about that Yujito girl. Huh? Why would you tell me about her? Naruto asked. She needs your help. Needs my help? After she betrayed me? No, you're wrong, said Kurama. When you were in that delusional state, when you were going crazy, you were knocked back out of it when Eva saved you. But the Raikage had knocked away Eva. Yujito was there. She had a seal that could seal your body and cut off connection with me. And they could take you back to their village. They could just grab you and run. Trust me, the Raikage's speed is impressive. But I'm sure Eva would have done something, at least to hold them off until the ninjas got there. But Yujito couldn't do it. She said that all that she tried to push those feelings away for you. When she tried to hate you because she knew you would be taken, she couldn't do it. And she threw away the tag. Huh? And now, she's been holed in a cell back at her village. And they're gonna remove the Nibi from her, killing her. How exactly do you know this? Naruto asks. Well, I got in contact with the Nibi today. And she's asking for your help. Because if you don't, she will die. Naruto lowered his head. I remember now, he said as he looked back up. She had that tag in front of me. I was still confused when I regained my senses. And she dropped that tag the moment I came to. But I didn't understand what was going on. And then I saw the Raikage knock her out. I understand now. So she was the one who actually didn't allow anything to happen. Yes, said Kurama. So what are you going to do? What am I going to do? What can I do? Naruto asked. You just said that she was at Humo, right? Yes, she is, said Kurama. So how exactly am I to go in there and rescue her? Well, kid, you have been holding back with your ability of being a vampire. What do you mean? Asked Naruto. Well, seeing that your body will no longer feel stress or pain, you can completely remove this seal and allow me to give you all access to my chakra. That should give you enough power to rescue her from that place. But it will cause a war. A war, said Naruto. Yes, when Kumo finds out, they're gonna retaliate and try to attack Konoha with all they got. So it's best that you inform your new Hokage first. No, said Naruto. I don't think she will allow me to go into Kumo. And yet, she doesn't know that I'm a vampire. And also I had contact with you. So things are going to be really difficult to explain everything to her right now. So how long does she has? Did Nibi tell you that? Yes. She has a week at most. So you have to save her before that time frame is up, or she will die. As Naruto looked down, damn it. You know what? Screw it, he said. She could have left me for death. She could have sealed away my abilities and knocked me out. But no, she let me go. And now they're going to kill her for that? Well, I cannot allow that to happen, Naruto said. So how do we do this, Naruto asked. Well, first, get out of this place, a far distance away deep in the forest, so that they won't sense you. As Naruto quickly got up and dashed away with quick speed without waking Jiraiya. Naruto found himself deep in the forest. Is this far enough? Naruto asked. Yes, said Kurama. Now, seeing that you don't have the key, I will force my chakra enough to break through the cell until it overwhelms it. It will hurt. And you will have to give in to all that rage, all the corruption and all the malice that comes with the chakra. But after doing that, you will have to control yourself. Remember that you have a goal. Don't get yourself lost in pure power and greed and hate. I won't, said Naruto. Now, remember, give in and then control. Alright, said Naruto. As Kurama started to flood his chakra under the cage, a cloak then appeared on Naruto as one tail emerged, two tails then emerged, three tails then emerged, as Naruto dropped on all fours, as four tails emerged, as his skin started to peel off, but he remained calm as he wasn't even screaming in pain. Even though he was feeling the pain all over his body, he could handle this, as he was transforming, as he was now completely the second stage of a tail beast, as four tails were behind him, but he stood there perfectly calm. It was then that he started to change again, as bones appear on him as skull, as it encased his face, as six tails were now behind him. Meanwhile, Naruto was floating in an empty drift, as he was just floating around. What is this? He said. This feeling. Suddenly he was falling. As he was falling to his doom, he was hearing screams around him. All of them was his screams. Everything that he went through as a child, all of the hatred, all of the pain, everything. As they were trying to overwhelm him, as Naruto let out a scream as everything stopped. He then looked around as he saw traces of blue faint chakra there. It was like some other chakra was inside of him, but they seemed to vanish when he died that night and became a vampire, as he wondered what was these and what was their purpose. Meanwhile, outside in the real world, 8 tails emerged as Naruto found himself back inside of the cell. As Kurama was forcing his chakra against the cell, the seal on it started to burn as Naruto closed his eyes as he started to give in. As he released all of his whole, as Kurama released everything in one burst. Back at the hotel, Jiraiya, Tsunade and Shizune snapped their eyes open. Many people in the hotel felt that power as it washed over the place. Jiraiya quickly burst through the door as he saw Tsunade there, as she was dressed in a rather revealing lingerie that she wore to sleep, but he couldn't think about that now. What's going on? She asked. I have no idea, he said. But this power, why now? And why? As Jiraiya quickly ran outside, as him and Tsunade and Shizune saw the 9-tailed fox as it towered over the forest. Shizune's eyes went wide as a couple other people came out of the hotel, as they all were looking at the 9-tailed fox, as the people then started to scream. Jiraiya then rushed off. Jiraiya, where are you going? Tsunade asked. I have to go, he said as he ran forward, as Shizune ran behind late Tsunade, as she was clutching onto Tauntaun. She has to make sure that her master is safe, even though she didn't know what she could do against this beast. When they arrived in the clearing, the 9-tailed stood there, as he was looking around with his tails flashing everywhere, as he had a malice look in his eyes. 9 tails, Jiraiya shouted, as Tsunade landed beside him. Shizune a bit distance away from them. What is going on? As Kurama lowered his head. Can't you see? I have taken over the boy's body. What? I thought you and him had an agreement. Well, I lied. I was just using him all of this time. And now I'm finally free to wreak havoc and destroy Konoha that I tried to did in the past. Yes, it was me. And now, I'll destroy everything, Kurama said. Damn it, said Jiraiya, as he quickly went into a fighting position. As Kurama then started to chuckle. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. Is he laughing? She said. As Kurama started chuckling even more, till the ground started to shake. What's going on? Jiraiya asked. As Kurama's body then burst into red chakra, as all the red chakra started to fly down, as they saw it took shape of a human, as Naruto was standing there in the center of all of it, perfectly fine with a smile on his face. I told him to do that. It was really funny seeing you guys' reaction, said Naruto, as he laughed to himself. As Jiraiya jumped down along with Shizune and Tsunade. Naruto, what just happened? Asked Tsunade. Oh yeah, me and the fox has become friends, Naruto said. And you see, I release him. What do you mean release him? Yeah, I removed the seal. Wait, isn't he going to try and take over your body? Asked Tsunade. Oh no, we have been friends for a long time now. So what did you just say about destroying the village and all that? It was a joke, Shizune asked. Oh yeah, said Naruto. I told him to do it, just to see you guys' expression. So, you freed him? How? Jiraiya asked. I have the key. Well, usually you would need the key, but given that I am a As Naruto looked at Tsunade, given that you're a what? She asked. Well, you're gonna need to sit down. As Tsunade narrowed her eyes at him. 10 minutes later. What the hell? Said Tsunade. You're really expecting me to believe that a girl named Eva came from a different dimension and turned you into a vampire? A creature that feeds on blood, and now you're immortal, but your body will still grow until you reach 18. But you can't die from any other wound inflicted on you, not even a stab through the heart. And you can also steal other bloodlines. Well, I never did told you how I got the crystal release, and also the bone release, said Naruto. Yeah, that's right, said Tsunade. But I'm still confused. Jiraiya, is he telling the truth? I'm afraid so. So, immortality, does that mean you will stay young forever? She asked. Yeah, once my body reaches peak, said Naruto. As Tsunade narrowed her eyes at him, as he noticed that. Come, Shizune, said Tsunade. Where are we going? We're going back to the hotel. I need to sleep this off because I can't tell if I'm dreaming or what. But vampire? Drinking blood? Immortality? Huh. I will handle that tomorrow, she said, as she went back to the hotel. Time skip. 3 days later, Orochimaru was standing in a clearing, along with Tsunade there in front of him. So, you accepted my offer, he said to her. Yes, I did, said Tsunade. Are you sure that you can bring them back completely? They won't be a puppet or a monster or anything. Trust me, they will have their same personality. It will be that nothing ever happened. You and your family will be back together again. Also, your lover Dan, he said that smirk. Alright then, Orochimaru. I will trust you, she said. Kabuto was a distance away from Orochimaru, as he noticed Tsunade's hands glowing green, but that wasn't supposed to heal him. As Kabuto pulled out 3 kunais and tossed them at Tsunade, as she jumped away. Kabuto, why did you do that? Asked Orochimaru. Well, she is trying to kill you. I'm a bit advanced in medical ninjutsu, and that isn't supposed to heal you. Huh, I guess you figured it out. I was never going to help you, Orochimaru. You're a monster, and after what you did to Sensei, I'm gonna make you pay, she said, as she lunged forward. Kabuto jumped in the way. Move out of my way, brat, she said, as she sent a fist towards him, as Kabuto ducked under her fist. Strong, but slow, he said. Oh really, she said, as she brought her on her leg and planted it in his stomach. Kabuto's eyes went wide, as he was sent flying, as he crashed into a giant boulder. Tsunade then jumped up in the air as she raised her fist, as Orochimaru jumped out of the way, as she struck it in the ground, as a huge explosion occurred. As Orochimaru jumped back. Well, it seems like you will never be able to see your family again. Huh. I realized something. Well, just say I got an inspiring speech from a friend. They would want me to move on with my life and do good for their sacrifice, to not wallow in my own pain and suffering all day long. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to change, no more drinking or gambling. I'm going to become the next Hokage of Konoha and change this world so no one will ever have to go through the same suffering that I did. Orochimaru chuckled. Now tell me, who's fooling your head with all these nonsense? Him, said Tsunade, gesturing behind Orochimaru. Orochimaru then felt cold sweat wash all over his body as he felt a presence behind him. But when did he get there? And how was he able to sneak behind him so fast? As Orochimaru cursed, as he wasn't preparing to face him so soon. He wanted to wait until he was the right moment so he could take down the Uzumaki once and for all. But at least he could start his project right here. Many hidden shadow. Before Orochimaru could finish that sentence, a leg planted right into his face, sending him flying. But before he could slam into a boulder, something grabbed his leg. As Orochimaru twisted his leg around, trying to kick Naruto right in the face, but Naruto grabbed it with his other arm. As he jumped up in the air at Orochimaru, he then came back down as he slammed Orochimaru in the ground with great force, creating a crater. Kabuto then appeared right in front of Naruto as he aimed a strike right in Naruto's heart. But before he could deliver with that strike, Tsunade appeared behind him and grabbed his arm. You know, you should keep out of this. Naruto said that he wants his revenge, and I'm going to allow him to get that. As she twisted Kabuto's arm as he cried out in pain. Before he could do anything, a solid kick planted right in his face as he was sent flying back. Jiraiya, I told you not to intervene. Me and Naruto had this, said Tsunade. Well, you guys want all of the fun. And besides, I wanted to see how the kid released all of his pent-up stress and anger on him. Me too, said Shizune as she appeared. Meanwhile on the ground, Orochimaru took a steel from his pocket as he placed it on Naruto's back. Naruto felt like a pin stab him as he reached around and grabbed Orochimaru's arm and twisted it as Orochimaru cried out in pain as Naruto threw him over to the side as he smashed into another boulder. Kabuto, Orochimaru said, as Kabuto quickly jumped beside him and went through hand sign as he placed his hand on Orochimaru's summoning tattoo. Summoning jutsu, he said, as there was a poof of smoke. But no one noticed that the seal that Orochimaru placed on Naruto's back burned into his skin and went inside of him as there wasn't even a mark, nothing even on his shirt. Orochimaru had a glorious plan and he will put it in action soon. Do you really think I'm gonna let you get away, said Naruto. The last time you talked to me I told you that I will spend the rest of my life hunting you down, and as we know that lasts forever. But I have other things to do, so I'm gonna rip you to pieces right here and now, and you will be done for, said Naruto. Orochimaru chuckled. My, so angry. I am guessing this is anger from me killing Sarutobi. As Naruto clenched his fists. What did you just say? Well, the old kook was going to drop down dead one day from either a heart attack or his oldness. So I did him a favor, then put him through that diaper wearing stage. As Naruto's eyes turned red as he squeezed his palm as blood started to leak out of it. You just sign your fate, said Naruto. But guys, in the end episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform and stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. But I'm over now. Peace.